here I am with your weekly project video. Today we're going to be making stuff out of our friend, the humble toilet paper roll. So hopefully you've been able to get toilet paper. I've been lucky enough not to run out yet during all this madness, and I've noticed it's been in the shelves a little bit more in the stores, so you should be okay to get some. We're gonna make some cool kind of abstract decorative art with this. I'll show you a few different things you can do. But first, you have to gather at least 4. That's all I have on hand right now, and I'd say you need more, but you can expand on this if you want to save them and do something bigger. But you're gonna take a ruler, and they're 4 inches long, and you're going to be cutting them into 4 equal little sections. So go ahead and mark your sections first. If you don't have a ruler, just eyeball it. You could even cut it in half and then cut the halves into half in order to get them to be the right size. By the way, I didn't talk about what supplies you need. I'm still figuring out this whole internet instruction making videos thing, but there's a couple of different kinds of glues you can use. Oops. I'm gonna experiment with this using a glue stick, but if you have school glue, white glue, that's better, or if you have wood glue, that's even better. I haven't gone to look for my wood glue yet, but I will in a sec. So in the meantime, you cut these. It's a little trickier than you might think to get them even. Pick up that one I dropped. Okay, so it's gonna flatten out as you cut it. Like they're gonna fold and crease, and that's fine. Just let it happen. You're gonna fold them and crease them when we make stuff out of them anyway. Okay, so keep doing this. And I'm gonna measure mine too because I'm a perfectionist. Keep trimming them all into 1-inch strips or 1-inch sections. Okay. So now we have all these little sections, and they're all been squashed into these little oval shapes. But there's a couple different things you can do. The first thing you can do is you can make a little series of radial designs. So for example, here are, however many you have, you kind of squeeze them into a point and then arrange them around a center. And you can glue them a couple different ways. You have to basically arrange them first and then figure out how you want to do it, and then glue them one at a time. You'll just put a dot of glue in here where you can hold it, and then you got to squeeze them while they dry. Hi. Okay, sorry, I had to shut things off for a second there. So what you can do while you're doing this is you can either make one of these little 6-pointed stars. And as you can see, they are they 6-pointed? Yeah, 6-pointed stars. So they'll meet in the middle, and you'll have to join them together, and it's a little tricky to get it balanced out. And also the other thing you have to do is you have to kind of pinch the ends so they can squeeze together in the corner. So you're basically just going to flatten it out. So it's folded in half basically, and then as you glue, you'll start sticking things together. So that's one way to do it. So if you don't want to do the star design, you want to do something a little more, more interesting, you can start playing with ways to put it together to create just a different kind of abstract sculpture. So I'm just kind of messing with it right now and seeing how to fit things together. I like the way symmetrical things work, but there's a lot of different stuff you can do. I've seen projects done with this material done many different ways on the internet. So at the end of the video, I'll splice in some photos of different things you can look at depending on what, how many you have and what you want to do. If you only have have a couple toilet paper rolls, you know, the STAR is great. If you have a little more, you can kind of mess around and look for other designs and cool things you can do. Yeah, and the more evenly you cut them out, the better they look. Alright, so here's my design. So I'm putting it together first without gluing it, and then I'm going to figure out how to glue all these pieces together. But let me move the camera over here so you can get a better look. Okay, so now I'm going to mess around with the glue and see which works best. Part. You don't have to do the same design as me. I'm doing something kind of challenging because I have some pieces, like this piece right here is only joined by one little side right here. But the ones that are more sturdy are the ones where they kind of box each other in and they're touching multiple ones. So the trick is just, you know, whatever kind of glue you're using, get the glue on the parts where they touch and then go back and periodically give it a squeeze once in a while. I never went back to get my wood glue because it turns out that this is actually working. But if you want to get wood glue and use that, that's way more effective. I really am happy with the way this is turning out, so I think I'm actually going to go back with the white glue and I'm going to reinforce it after I unclog the bottle. I'm going to reinforce it with just some dots of the white glue in between these little spots where the glue stick can kind of dry out. Except I have to, there we go, clog my bottle. Things I have to do before I make the video. Total video making noob, so stuff like this I don't think of to check before I start making it. The glue is clogged. Pause. Okay, I had to go and literally wash out my glue bottle lid in the sink because it wasn't coming apart. This is drying pretty nicely, but I never really trust how strong the glue stick is. So I'm going to go in here, and before stuff starts to fall apart, I'm going to put a little bit of glue in the cracks where I see that it is not so strong. It's super important to not move it around a lot and just keep an eye out for where it might not be very solid. Some glue sticks are like basically temporary, so you really want to make sure that you don't pick it up or move it around. Yeah, see, so this part right here wants to come apart, so I'm going to make sure and get some glue in there. And the good thing about this too is the glue, it will dry clear. It shrinks up, you know, it doesn't look very nice now while it's wet, but when it dries, it'll be really hard to see, so it's not gonna. Hi everybody. So it's the next day, and here's my project. It's all dried. I love how it came out, this was easier than I thought it was going to be. Okay, so I kind of said, oh, it might be complicated to make something that's not a star. It's not complicated. You guys can totally do this, and it's really fun to mess around with the combinations of the different shapes. The more toilet paper rolls you use, the better, because you have more pieces to work with and you can create something more intricate and more interesting. So I wanted to do this little like starburst shape, like it's dripping down. It kind of looks like a tree, or it kind of looks like a, it's like a weird shaped flower, but it's way more interesting than just doing a 6-pointed star. So do something more intricate, you know, if you're trying to do this. And the one thing I will say is just look at how your pieces join. So try to do your best to kind of stagger them, you know, so they kind of overlap, and then you have a nice flat part to join them together. But at the end of this video, I'm gonna show you a few clips of other art. If you just Google toilet paper roll art, there's a ton of stuff that people do, and it's very cool. If we were in class, we would do this, and I would take like a can of spray paint, and we could spray paint them. You can paint them if you have like acrylic paints at home or something, but if you use too much, it could warp the cardboard, and it won't it's possible that it could lose its shape a little bit. But I think it looks cool without paint. I might actually put mine up. I really like it. Okay, so I hope you guys try this and try something a little more complex. Try to make something abstract. It doesn't have to be symmetrical. It can be asymmetrical. Check out these examples. So the first example that you see here is it's like a decorative functional wall design where they stuck a mirror on it so they could hang it up and have a mirror with this cool sculpture in the background. And it's made from these repeating circular designs that are actually 4 different sections glued together and kind of pinched together to make a circle. So you can see here how to fit the pieces together, and if you have a lot, you know, you can make a bunch of these and fit them together really nicely and make something really cool. The next example is just a really neat regular pattern that's made with those circular shapes. And I know a lot of you guys like sort of nice even repetition, and you know, if you wanted to make something like that that looked more organized, that's an example of something you can do, but you would need a lot of toilet paper rolls for that. The last one is an example of the symmetrical design that I mentioned earlier. When you have stuff that kind of spreads out irregularly, this one's really cool because it reminds me of like something under a microscope, like a cell or something. So don't be afraid to experiment and do something cool that is not like any of the examples that I've shown you, because as long as you know, are using at least 4 or more different rolls, you can come up with something really cool and original. And I can't wait to see what you guys make. Have fun.